When I think about how quickly he moved forward from me to Marjorie, that was disturbing.
Do you recall when Steve and Marjorie Harvey got the short end of the stick from Steve Harvey's ex-wife Mary Lee? After that, she was given a gag order and sued for disclosing Steve and his wife. It's also really untidy. And I have no idea who sold the tea during Marjorie and her substance-using days. It is possible that Steve's ex-wife is involved, though. Will Marjorie suffer the consequences of her recent troubling past? Naturally, a lot has been said about Marjorie, including how she managed to get Steve exactly where she wanted him and how hard she makes him work to support her extravagant way of life. But one thing people don't talk about is how she jumped from one narcotics kingpin to the next back in the day. So, what did Steve Harvey's ex-wife reveal about Marjorie? That's what we're finding out in this video. But of course, before I spill anything, make sure first that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more updates and videos like this. Now, let's dive in. Apparently, her ex and former drug lord Jim L. Townsend is writing a book about all the illegal acts she was involved in. In the 1990s, Marjorie was being looked into while she was married to drug kingpin Jim L. Townsend, who was charged with trying to purchase 40 kilos of illicit substances. He was eventually given a life sentence, but only spent 26 years until the President Barack Obama gave him a pardon. At the time, the FBI also wanted Marjorie because they suspected that she played a role in the narcotics ring, and authorities told Jim that his wife would be arrested, as the agents believed they had substantial evidence of her own illegal activities. Apparently, Jimmy cut a deal with the authorities to leave Marjorie out of it. He took the fall due to the fact that Marjorie was 8 months pregnant with their second child, Jason. And he also said he feared their 5-year-old daughter Morgan would be left without a mother if he didn't take a plea deal. But he's no longer sticking out for her. Back in 2019, Jim said that he was writing a tell-all book detailing all the criminal activities that took place in his and Marjorie's substance era. He also told Radar Online that he had reservations about sharing his explosive story because of his kids, but he decided to go ahead with the project whether Marjorie liked it or not. He was like, I have no allegiance to Marjorie. She showed her hand, so I'm going to tell my story. It don't matter if she knows about it. I'm pouring my heart out. No one knows what happened but me and Marjorie. Guess what the book is entitled? Snakes in the Garden, The Untold Story of the Life of Jim, aka Jimmy L. Townsend. Part of the description promises readers to have a front row seat to experience what it's like to endure aggression, substance selling, his marriage to Marjorie Harvey, the current spouse of actor and comedian Steve Harvey, and greed, as well as how it can damage someone's life, according to the book's Part 1, which will be released in July 2023. Although we don't know what's actually inside, the first section of the 3-part book cost $29.99. He must have some really hot tea because he ordered 3 portions and charged $29.99 for it. We also don't know the specifics, but we're wondering whether the book will touch on how after the split, Marjorie was also linked to another substance dealer, Darnell Woods, who is the father of her youngest daughter, Lori. Well, there were also rumors that Darnell happened to be Jimmy's cousin. So for Marjorie to move from Jimmy to Darnell, even I have to admit that that is a bit shady, and something that will make a good chapter in the book. People also wager heavily on whether Marjorie herself struggled with addiction. She was obviously quite involved in the drug trade, so it stands to reason that she likely used heavily as well, possibly still does. I'm not sure about you, but I'm eagerly anticipating whatever will be revealed in the book. Well, many people also believe that Marjorie's appearance in the news is just punishment for what she and Steve did to Steve's ex-wife Mary. For those who don't know, in 1989, Steve and Mary met in Texas Mall. She was a makeup artist when they first met. Mary and Steve got married in 1996 and were together for almost 10 years. But there were many issues in the marriage, Marjorie being one of the worst ones. Mary claimed that she was cut off from the way of life she had been living with Steve after the divorce. Even the fashion designers who had formerly pleaded with her to wear their clothes had stopped returning her calls. And the one time she made a major blunder was when she posted the infamous YouTube tapes and exposed Steve and Marjorie to the fullest, the ones she had to erase. But as we all know, once everything is online, it rarely disappears entirely. Anyway, she claimed in the films that Steve had stolen everything from her, had forced her to move out of the house, and had turned her son against her. Oh my God, Mary even included proof of the infidelity, including an NSFW email from Steve Harvey to another lady and a letter written by another woman to herself outlining an affair. The letter sent to Steve purportedly described their infidelity, extramarital affairs, use of protection, aggressive behavior, and even the removal of a pregnancy. She afterwards went over to where he was. Actually, she revealed that Marjorie was Steve's mistress, and that she had once called the family at their secret, unlisted number to check on her employment application at Steve's soup business. She continued by discussing how Marjorie was a part of the breakdown of her marriage. In all honesty, I understand her position given that she was the one who contributed to Steve's initiatives when he had nothing, only for another lady to swoop in under her nose and take all the glory and money. Mary did, after all, claim that fairness is all she seeks. In her words, I want justice. I want what I worked 16 years for. I was with him when he had nothing, so I earned my stake in the wealth. I want everything back that Steve and Marjorie took from me. They think they can lead me to die. But I want what's mine. I want what I worked for. I want my share. Half of everything that they both have since 2005 is mine. So, at the time, when Mary was expecting Steve and Marjorie, they denied the allegation in a statement, saying, "We are appalled and aware of the videos and other fabricated documents which contain false, misleading, derogatory, disparaging, malicious, explicit, and slanderous information about Mr. Harvey, his current wife, and others. We are saddened that the ex-wife has resorted to such devious and selfish behavior with a reckless disregard for their minor son, her adult son, and Mr. Harvey's other children. We are horrified and aware of the videos and other fabricated documents which contain false, misleading, derogatory, disparaging, malicious, explicit, and slanderous information about Mr. Harvey, his current wife, and others," they said in a statement when Mary was exposing Steve and Marjorie. "We regret the ex-wife's sly and self-centered actions, which show a callous contempt for their little boy, her older son, and Mr. Harvey's other children." You know, Jimmy, Marjorie's ex, also said the same thing about his kids, so it's not really that difficult to think that Steve and Marjorie kept Mary away from everything, including her son. He told the Globe that he and his kids began spending time together when he was released from prison, but he later claimed that Steve Harvey had forbidden Marjorie from speaking to him. He claimed that throughout all of those years, he could contact her day or night, and she was always there for him. However, the phone was disconnected the day after she met him. I wonder if that section will be discussed in this book as well. I believe that for the most part, we'll basically learn how Marjorie got involved in illegal activity and, probably, after she consumed illicit substances as well. And who do you think will be reading that book with a steaming cup of tea nearby? Well, Dear Mary, of course. That is, if Steve and Marjorie don't stop the book from getting out. But what do you think of Marjorie's criminal activities being exposed? Do you think Mary deserves better? Let us know in the comments. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this.